So I want to introduce our opening speaker, our inaugural keynote for this event, Dr. Adele Merritt. She's the Chief Information Officer of the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. And no pressure or anything. You're the first keynote of the first time we're doing this conference, but welcome and thank you for joining us. Round of applause.
Thank you very much, and now I do feel a lot of pressure talking to you as the first speaker. So it is an honor to be here this morning. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I know I'm wearing a mask, and so I will try to lean in close to the microphone so that the voice carries. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you at the first conference focused on a federal law enforcement point of view for IT. Now, I'm from the intelligence community, but we closely partner with our law enforcement partners. Within the IC, we face very similar challenges, both IT and cyber, to what our law enforcement partners are also facing. So let me begin by explaining what my position is. I am the intelligence community's CIO. I work in the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. I am a direct report to Director Haynes, and I work with the 18 element CIOs so that we have a unified vision of where we're going. Our mission is to advance the intelligence community by leading IT transformation, modernization, protecting the intelligence community's information environment, making sure that we can securely deliver the intelligence that's needed to the president, to the warfighters, to our partners throughout the world. Our jobs at the tactical edge are only increasing in importance. And so for me, that means that we have to have a resilient, secure infrastructure that goes from DC around the world and back. Within the intelligence community's CIO office, or ICCIO, we are making sure that we can share our data with everybody who needs it, making sure that our infrastructure is available anytime, anywhere, under all conditions for everybody who has access and needs it. Years ago, I did my joint duty assignment at the FBI. I worked in the Operational Technology Division. And through that experience, I gained a deep appreciation for the challenges that are being faced by our law enforcement officers and how the technical community can assist them with their important mission. So in my remarks today, I'm going to talk to you about what the IC is doing and how we are working through the roadmap, which we published. I think I have a slide which will show up later on. So I visualize my role as the intelligence community CIO as a bookshelf with two ends. On one end is vision, on the other end is oversight. The volumes in between these two bookshelves are written by the intelligence community elements themselves. They have a unique mission, they have a unique infrastructure that supports that mission. Our job is to make sure as they are implementing the vision, it's not misaligned, we don't accidentally topple over all the books. Our success is contingent on support and enhancing the IT infrastructure to facilitate the important national security role that we play. Part of what I get to do is chair the CIO Council. This is made up of the 18 elements, includes representation from DHS, DEA, and FBI, our law enforcement partners within the intelligence community. The CIO Council helps us determine where we are going. Much like we keep an eye on where our partners in the Department of Defense are going, we keep an eye on where our law enforcement partners are going, because we have to go together. We have to be able to share and talk to each other, especially during times of crisis. And let's talk about that threat landscape for a minute. Our nation and our allies depend upon what we do. Our mission really matters. We are experiencing a complex international environment right now. Great powers are rising, regional powers are also rising, and we have evolving non-state actors. Everybody is vying for global dominance. Much like our law enforcement partners, the intelligence community provides leaders with timely information around the clock. Our mission never pauses. And when you think about that mission, so much of it is critically dependent upon the IT infrastructure. I joke with them and say, without us, you're doing this with paper and pencil. We are critical to every aspect of what you do. And so delivering proven technologies, proven tools, making sure that we have access to data when we need it, it is critically important. Technology never stands still. People all over the world are constantly coming up with great ideas. You in the room continue to evolve your technology and have great ideas that we need to bring into our system. Making sure that we are not doing this in a way that introduces additional risk, right? Because just as we are advancing our capabilities, the adversary is also increasing their capabilities. So we need an approach that leverages the amazing technical innovation, but also does that in a safe way. So when you're looking at breakthroughs such as artificial intelligence, right? Everybody has been talking about large language models and generative AI for the past couple of years. Within the CIO community, the CISO community, the Chief Data Officer community, we have also been looking at this, thinking about how we can use AI to advance our mission, making sure that we have the infrastructure and the foundation to do this is part of what this roadmap will help us do. It makes sure that we have quality tagged data, make sure that we have trusted, tested algorithms, making sure we have secure infrastructure so we can take that data, transport it, have the compute power needed for the AI to store all the information, making sure that we are also doing this in an ethical way that aligns with our nation's values. And so as we look at all this amazing technology, underpinning it is the people, making sure we have the right workforce to be able to do this. And so this requires us to have a unified vision of where we're going, which is what we have done with the roadmap. We have worked closely with all of our partners. I call them now the digital village, because we originally had the digital C-suite, right? That was your CIO, your CISO, your Chief Data Officer. And now as we're looking towards the future, we have Chief Artificial Intelligence Officers, the privacy and civil liberties and transparency folks who are so critical to making sure we do this in the right way. Our research and innovation teams who are now part of the core infrastructure as we continue to rapidly bring in this amazing technology. This digital village is critically important to our success. So as we look at the roadmap, which is available on our public website, we did this at an unclassified level so that we could share with our partners where we were going, so you can help us along our journey. The roadmap gives the CIOs a way to discuss how we are doing this in 5 focused areas. The beginning, you see them up on the slide, so let me dive into the first one, the digital foundation, because at the start, it all critically depends upon us having a solid foundation, which in the intelligence community, a big part of that digital foundation has been cloud computing. We have been on a cloud journey, and I'm excited to say that we now have our vendors all at an ATO IOC level for our classified clouds. We've also been partnering with the Department of Defense. You might have heard of their JWCC, the Joint Warfare contract that they have let, which is co-use, joint use with the IC, which is a groundbreaking partnership between the two organizations. It's a way for us to optimize the foundation that we are building upon. So let's talk about the second area, robust cybersecurity. This continues to be a large investment for the intelligence community, much like it has been for the rest of the world. We take our responsibility very seriously in identifying threats to our infrastructure. We know that you also feel the same way because we have to stay one step ahead of our adversaries all the time. And so as we are working on an all-of-government approach to strengthen our cybersecurity, one of the aspects that you hear over and over again, we talked about it this morning, zero trust. For those of you who have your bingo card, I think I've now talked about cloud, AI, zero trust. So we're making good progress on the cyber buzzword bingo card. So zero trust is something that we are keenly focused on doing within the intelligence community. It will help us safeguard our federated system. Zero trust is not a technology that I can pop out of a box and install. It's a journey, right? We're going to be on this journey for a while. So we look forward to continuing to partner with you as we move forward on this. We've stood up a zero trust steering committee within the intelligence community that's helping us develop our strategy, our capability maturity model, because it's not just about saying where we want to go. It's about creating metrics and milestones so we can hold ourselves accountable and know where we are on that journey. Because we can't just continue to say it's a journey. We have to know how far along we are and what we need to do next. So the third area there is enabling modern partnerships and practices. Let me start by saying one of the first areas in here is IT accessibility. We recognize that it is critically important that our infrastructure be accessible to those who need additional capabilities, screen readers, closed captioning. And so we are making progress on this. We need to make sure that as we bring people into the intelligence community, they can interact with the technology that we have. We also need to make sure that our communication and collaboration technology is modern. It's keeping pace. Originally, when we started, we were talking about emails and telephone. We now have all these amazing options with virtual reality over the horizon coming. And so as we learn to collaborate in different ways with more modern tools, it's really exciting. We also have to be able to collaborate with our partners in ad hoc, fast ways, right? As things happen around the world, we need to create alliances that might not have been the alliance we had yesterday. Allies that are part of the situation that we are dealing with at that moment. So how do we securely and rapidly do that? We take this responsibility very seriously. The third area is data centricity. And so if you've heard the Intelligence Community Chief Data Officer, Lori Wade, talk, she also has a strategy that talks about raising the data acumen of the workforce, making sure that people understand the data, making sure that we have data management plans, that data is tagged. A lot of the amazing analytics that are coming down the pipe rely on foundational aspects being done to the data for the workforce understanding and being able to manipulate that data. So we have an area that recognizes what the CIOs need to do to be part of the solution to meet the challenges of the future. The last area that I want to talk about is the accelerating mission. So as we are looking to what's coming down the pipe next, and sometimes we don't know what that is, right? Because there's amazing innovations that we just haven't seen yet. And so what part of the infrastructure we need to start today so we will be ready when the future arrives tomorrow is what we're focused on in this first area. In the fifth area, it's also making sure that we have the workforce of tomorrow. And I'll tell you, as part of being in government, it is a challenge to recruit people into government IT positions, especially if you work in a SCIF and you're used to having your phones and all the other technology that you have out there in the world. And so we have been working within the intelligence communities with our centers of academic excellence, which are universities and schools around the nation who are helping us, recruit, train, and make sure that the workforce of tomorrow is ready. I also want to say that the workforce of tomorrow is not just coming out of universities and colleges today. There's a lot of opportunities for mid-careers and senior members to join the IC. The jobs are posted. It's a great opportunity for mid-career folks to bring their talents that they have learned in the private sector or in the military and join the intelligence community. Many of the same challenges that are faced in the law enforcement community are throughout the federal government. It's an opportunity to come in and out of service. There's many ways to serve the nation. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to talk to you about what we are doing within the intelligence community, this critical foundation upon which so many of the amazing applications are built. Without this strong foundation, it's kind of like a Jenga game, right? Where you keep pulling from the bottom to pay for the top. And I don't know about you, but I don't have the money tree in the backyard. So we're making critical decisions today, hard decisions as a community to figure out what we need to make sure that we protect so that as these new technologies continue to be built on top, the infrastructure doesn't collapse. Because at the end of the day, that's not an option for us. Within the law enforcement community, within the intelligence community, within the Department of Defense, that strong infrastructure needs to be there for the nation. And so thank you very much for coming together as opportunities like this to talk about, to share ideas. It is critically important for all of our benefit that we continue to have these open conversations, we continue to share ideas, best practices. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today. Thank you so much.